In 2005, Prince Harry was caught in a sex romp in Vegas. I can understand a young man trying to sow his wild oats. Understandable. However, that same exact year, he was caught at a party, a mock white party, pun intended, dressed as a Nazi soldier. His party buddies were dressed as KKK members, wizards, or whatever they call them. They were all screaming the N-word back and forth. They also had blackface makeup on. So disrespectful. And they were screaming the N-word, talking about jokes and laughing and having a good old time. The party was his own version of what they called a white party, like I said. Well, Prince Harry has always been the Queen's favorite. We all know that. I've read it my whole entire life, his entire life. I don't know why, I've always wondered, but it is what it is. So from that point on to now, she's always been on a major damage control mission, sending him to Africa to be seen devoting his time with the little African children, to hanging with Michelle Obama, to getting his HIV test done alive on Facebook, with the African American or people in color in general as the target audience, because as statistics have shown, they're at the highest risk of contracting HIV. So anyway, it's always been about cleaning up his reputation. She even dragged out a distant relative recently, talking about her interracial ancestors back as far as the 1500s. That's ridiculous. She wants to talk about Queen Charlotte, who was interracial, African, Asian descent, a mulatto is what she called her, being obviously mixed anyway, who was married to King George III. They had 15 children together. So here's 15 little royal children that have African and Asian blood running through their veins, walking around and playing at the royal playgrounds all of those years ago. So where was all of this information back in the 50s? This woman's almost 100. It's called damage control. She's bringing out these cards. She's not a stupid woman. She's a snake, but she's not stupid. She kept all of that in her bedazzled pocketbook so that she can just now bring it out, you know, and put it in the Commonwealth spotlight, so to speak. And I believe in my heart that the connection, the friend of both Harry and Meghan Markle that set them up, supposedly, was the works of Granny. I think she put her people on task, and they paired this person right time, right spot, and made things happen. I think she's threatened this young man. I think she has given him advice as to how to clean up his past. So yeah, because think about this. He didn't know Meghan Markle, didn't know what she did, didn't know what show she came from, and she had no clue what Prince Harry did, who he was, or what he did, where he came from, whatever. Bull S-H-I-T. So anyway, she deliberately chose a woman of color. That comes from a so-so family. Her mom was a yoga instructor, Doria Ragland, also into social work, who's now setting up her own practice, her brand new practice as a mental health counselor over in England. Her dad, Thomas Markle, he's a former lighting director who worked on the set of many soap operas throughout his career, who has since hustled money and been caught selling his pictures to tabloid magazines that he and a paparazzi friend set up together. You know, he's a shyster. So she chose these folks for a reason. The background, the interracial situation to clean him up, make him look better to the public eye. They've somewhat a socially accepted background, her family, but they have zero clout to fight back when it all hits the fan. This will hit the fan. It's going to be in about a couple of years. Yes, I said it, a couple of years. Prince Harry, he'll have a child with Markle. His job, and her job as a kumbaya front, will come to an end. He's not in love, and she's not in love with him all that much. I think in her mind she thinks she is. But I think she's more in love with the glittery things that are attached to him, that are headed her way. I think she's more in love with, you know, the idea of being some whatever in the monarchy, blah, blah, blah. But anyhow, there's definitely a method to old Granny's madness. And, you know, I just don't understand. There's a second huge reason also behind this hookup. This whirlwind relationship that's almost as large as cleaning up his image, really. That'll be a video coming in. I'll call it part 2 to this one. It's on its way. But I give Granny credit. She certainly knows how to run a show. Speaking of show, she meant to include this interracial relationship into every household that she possibly could. Magazines, newspapers, tabloids, Lifetime series network is in several countries, several languages. They have aired or will be airing their romance in a made-for-TV film. She's very methodical, like I said. I feel she understands that time for her is ticking, and she wanted to clean up Prince Harry in a far better, to put him in a far better social light for her own peace of mind, her own sanity. And, it's really sad that she used this girl. And for that reason, I really hope it all backfires. I hope they fall madly, deeply in love. He can't live without her, and she can't him. I hope they have several children together, and I hope Granny's around to be completely pissed off about it, because I believe in my heart of hearts, if his reputation was better, if he was a little bit like William and Kate, this would have never, ever happened. I just don't see it. She's one smart cookie. Sneaky, snaky, vile, but extremely brilliant. She knows what she's doing. Reason number 2 is almost just as big as this one. I think she sat back and watched this. And if anybody knows what I'm talking about, in the next video to come, you'll have to agree with me. I feel like she set this stuff up. And this is a part 2 to the reason. But anyway, I just feel really bad for this Markle girl, and because I've caught Harry just kind of giving her weird looks. She doesn't come from a prominent family, socially acceptable, yes, but she can't fight back. The shit's going to hit the fan. She's going to have a baby, and like I said, her kumbaya front, that'll all come to an end. He'll not need her anymore, and she just doesn't have the money to fight back. You guys be blessed. Part 2.